Entering this dynamic list of courses here. So how about what if we want to modify this this list of courses? Say we might want to have maybe a button up here that allows me to create new courses. I can say create course, right? So that if I would click on that course, I would just want to add a brand new course at the end of this list of courses. Yes. So to do that, right? We would in the TypeScript we can implement how the algorithm by which we would do that. Yes, what we could do is a simple implementation might be something like create course, which is a function that at some point somebody's going to invoke. And how would we create a course? Well, we have an array of courses. Basically, we would want to just append to that array of courses. Yes, so we would do something like this courses dot push, just as regular JavaScript, and it would be a brand new object with some unique identifier and some title. And the title would be maybe something like, new course. Okay? Notice that this is modifying the state, the state variable, right? And the way Angular is plumbed is that anybody who's referencing a state variable will be notified if the state changes, right? And they'll be responsible for updating the DOM piece, right, that they are responsible for. Okay, so for instance, that li that is listening to that course's state variable is responsible for modifying that li, based on whatever happens to that array, right? If somebody splices out an element from this array, it will make sure to re-update the DOM. If somebody pushes something in there, it will re-render. All right, so let's see how we can invoke this create course. From the button, we want to invoke that function, right? So typically in React, we would do an on-click, right? But that's way too low level for our liking. So instead, what Angular does is that it wraps this low-level behavior with a higher-level behavior called click, right? And click is a little more than just on-click, right? On-click just calls the function. Right. Whereas click not only calls a function, but anybody who's listening, right, who's listening for this event, it will be notified, right, of this event. So you can have listeners who can register for this event, and they can be notified of this event, right? So they implement object design patterns such as observable, right, and that can iterate over. It can be notified and anybody who registers for a particular event. Here, we're just going to call create course, right? We're going to call create course. Notice the syntax difference here, right? Typically, if this were on click, notice that we're calling the course with the parentheses, right? That's different in the syntax of how you would do it in React, right? In React, you would not have the parentheses, right? You're just linking it to a function, and it'll be invoked. But this is not on click. This is not on click. Okay, so we do need the parentheses in there. In React, if we want to call it using parentheses, typically we would have to put it inside a lambda function. Not here. We don't need the lambda function, right? That's all implemented for you underneath the click functionality here. Okay. Anyway, so let's try it out. Let's try it out. If we go back here and notice that we click on create course, notice that indeed is adding the course to the end of the array, right? Which is pretty cool. Also notice what's happening here. Not only is it adding elements down below, but notice that here too is changing. See that? Right? And both places are being updated, right? Because both places here, courses and courses here, both places are referencing this array, right? So anybody who is listening, anybody who is referencing this model will be notified that the changes have happened, right? And that they're responsible for updating their little piece of the DOM. Yes? Which is pretty cool.